family, as a community, to implement the teachings of Allah, the Quran. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent for the entire humanity. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَىٰ رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. This was addressed to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was honored by Allah, revealing the Quran to him, to the entire humanity, and to us as believers especially. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بُرْهَانٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ نُورًا مُبِينًا. This ayah reflects clearly that the Quran is for all humanity. O you people, O humankind, we have sent you Burhan, the true evidence, Nuran Mubina, and the clear light. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Allahu nura samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of heavens and earth. So the Quran is the reflection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has honored us with it. Alhamdulillah that we are here today, which is the last Jumu'ah of Ramadan. Ramadan is going away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us enough conscience, enough strength to do our most in this very special month of ours. And perhaps tonight may be Laylatul Qadr, the night that the Quran was revealed, the night that is so powerful, the night that we all seek to witness it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with to witness the night of Laylatul Qadr, and we should seek it. This is a hidden jewel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to seek it in order to be of those who can witness it. Ramadan, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us siyam, that says about us as believers, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The first ayah was to the entire humanity, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ. Did not say يَا أَيُّهَا الْعَرَبِ or يَا أَيُّهَا الْأَفَارِقَةِ or Asyawiyin or European or American. Ya ayyuhan nas, all people, the entire humanity. So this address to all of them. But the second ayah that talks about us as believers, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, those who have obtained the level of iman, not just a random Muslim, a Muslim who is called a part-time Muslim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who are not Ramadaniyin, but are Rabbaniyin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aiming here, or wants us to be of those who obtain taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So the main aim here is to make ourselves at the disposal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with everything we have. This is why Ramadan tests every part of our world as human beings. We fast, long day, we get tired, fatigue, yet we stand. And we stand proudly because we are doing a noble act that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with. Because fasting is not an easy task. And I see some Muslims here and there said, I wish I could fast, but it's kind of hard for me. This is why you should fast. It's hard for you in order to get something good, something better. The harder it gets, more important it is. But if it's something easy, everything will just be for granted. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting us to test in everything. Physically, spiritually, intellectually, our conscience is there. So all the elements of this world called insan or human being are involved in this task. Not just alone as individuals, but as a family, as a community too. It's a family because children, despite of being a young age, they want to take part in suhoor. They may not fast the whole day or many days. Like I see here in front of me, a young man, mashallah, he is almost 10 and he fasts some days. This is what the family is going to get, because we have to be of those that educate our children how to become man of God. When I say man, means men and women. Rijalun. Rijalun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls the believers Rijalun. Does mean that we ignore the female, the gender. Rijalun in Arabic includes both genders. Rijalun, that they, whatever they promise Allah, they fulfill it. And they fulfill the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the believers there are men, there are believers from the whole ummah. This is what they call kull al-mu'mina, those who are the pillars of ummah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those. So Ramadan aims at this. It is not just a season, Ramadan, and after Ramadan, it's gone. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum used to receive Ramadan before Ramadan, get ready for 6 months ahead of it. Like we do, oftentimes I meet brothers who say that a month or two before Ramadan, Ramadan is coming. Ramadan is coming. Inshallah, make it easy. So they are sort of preparing themselves, tamheed. But the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the students of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the best generation of ummah, they used to prepare for Ramadan 6 months. Then receive Ramadan. Witness Ramadan, invest in Ramadan, that with that capital they will go 6 months after that, so living in the atmosphere of Ramadan the entire year. Not just part of it, but the entire year. Of course, you cannot be, Ramadan is a special spirit, and we all know it. Everybody knows that Ramadan has a special spirit, that you cannot have this during other months. In terms of fasting, we read more Quran, we pray more, we see each other more, we share iftars more, we talk to each other more, we help each other more. Sadaqat was zakawat, all of these. Ramadan is a special month, but that doesn't mean that it's only for this month. It is not to make us Ramadaniyin, but to make us Rabbaniyin. وَكُونُ Rabbaniyin. Be people of Allah. Rabbani, that means people that are connected with Allah all the times. And Ramadan serves this very purpose. Of course, every Jumu'ah serves this purpose. Every Salat serves this purpose. To keep us engaged in doing our utmost in order to obtain the Iman. The Iman that will lead us, like the Hadith says, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever fasts Ramadan with true Iman, إيمانا راسخ في القلوب, deeply rooted in the hearts, that nothing can shake, nothing can destroy it. The Iman that lives in the heart. This is why taqwa, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَعَوْنَ الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Coordinate and cooperate and harmonize your action, good deeds and piety. Every good deed you do. And never enmity on evil. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember that you are surveyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As siyam, fasting, it's surveying us. It's accompanying us every day, every second, secretly. And nobody knows, but we know it, of course. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants this secret box that is called heart, where the taqwa resides, as sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, at-taqwa ha-huna. The taqwa, this conscience, not sheer fear, this taqwa, this concern of yours, concern of ours, that we live with it, and we try to protect ourselves, to fortify ourselves, to make ourselves safe from the attacks of this worldly life. Because life is, this world is so luring. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be those that obtain taqwa. Once you obtain taqwa, you obtain immunity. And if you don't have immunity, you will be easily preyed by other things of dunya. This is why Allah wants us to be those that obtain taqwa. Taqwa hahuna qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the heart. So the heart is the residence, the capital of taqwa. And nobody can intercept it. Nobody knows what is in our heart. Even your closest person in life would not know you completely. For there, subhanallah, hikmah rabbaniyah, having the wisdom to make us of those to keep something for ourselves. But we know it, and most of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows it well. This is why siyam is so important. Because it accompanies you from suhoor to iftar. And it's always with you. When you talk, when you walk, when you listen, when you work, when you shop, when you park, when you deal with people, when you are silent, that you don't talk but you are silent, the siyam is with you. The siyam is accompanying you. And siyam will witness, as do the salawat, as does the zakat, as does the zakat or sadaqah, as does the ihsan, as does the hajj. All these are that witness, but siyam is a special case. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu says about describing a taqwa as such. A taqwa resembled a narrow path. Tariq dayyiq. Sirat dayyiq. Very short alley, but very narrow. And you walk through that. On both sides of this narrow path or trail are thorny bushes. Dunya. And you walk through that in such a way that you're so mindful. Why? Not to get hurt. You would wish to be thin or slim. Slim in terms of not just body. So you walk in such a way, sometimes meandering, sometimes squeezing yourself in order not to get hurt. So a taqwa is something that we ought to obtain and to keep it and to maintain it. But in order to maintain it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the equipments, has given us the tools, the devices to do. And Ramadan with siyam, with all this blessing, helps us. And above all, Laylatul Qadr, that we all should seek. It could be tonight, Allahu Alam. And you should come, not just for Laylatul Qadr, but should come. And don't take for granted. Ramadan is going fast, going by fast. Don't take for granted these beautiful days. Don't be too sure that you're doing enough. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you have heard this so many times, said to the Sahaba, radiyallahu anhum jami'an, no one entered the Jannah. Repeated 3 times. Then the Sahaba asked him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even you, Ya Rasulullah, that Allah has forgiven all the shortcomings. He said, even I. Only bi rahmati min Allah. So never fool ourselves that we are doing enough, that you are giving enough, that you are helping the masjid enough, that you are helping the poor enough, that you are helping each other enough, that you're doing enough, never enough. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so generous to us, has given us so many beautiful things. And we ought to be thankful. We ought to show it through our actions and deeds. And Ramadan helps that in this purpose. And all the time, inshallah ta'ala, وَدُوا اللَّهُ وَأَنْتُمْ مُقِنُونَ بِالْإِجَابَةِ. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. نعوذ بالله من عين لا تدمع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن نفس لا تشبع ومن دعاء لا يسمع the dua of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Oh Allah, we seek refuge. The only refuge that we have is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask anybody. Ask me that I was a refugee 43 years ago in the middle of nowhere. Ask the Syrian refugees, the Palestinian refugees, the Yemeni refugees, the Somali, you name it, the Rohingyas. The only malja, the only refuge is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the dua runs as such. Oh Allah, we seek your refuge. From the eye it never shed tears. From the heart never fears. From the dua, from the self that never gets satisfied. And from the dua that never gets replied. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those. When we hear His name, our hearts feel it and tremble. As ayah says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُم وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ زَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَرَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. Truly, the true believers, or surely the true believers are those. May Allah make us of those. When Allah's name is mentioned, their hearts tremor and feel it. And when the ayats of Allah are read, not just for the sake of reading one juz, or juz'ain or thalatha ajza, it is how much you have assimilated, how much you have doing, what you're doing with this. Like the Sahaba used to do, radiyallahu anhum jami'an. Every ayah that was revealed to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they will get it, they will try to memorize it, they will study it, and they will teach it to others and implement it. We read the whole Quran. Alhamdulillah. Khatim al-Quran. But let's ask each other, how much of it do we implement? How much of it do we practice? Some people say, I'm making dua, but it's not replying. Replying what? The dua, you are not sending a petition somewhere. You are sending it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you feel it right? Did you do your homework well? We all are students of Madrasa Muhammadiyah. How well do we do our homework? What do we do with our homework, for our deeds and actions? How well we implement the teaching of Allah and Sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How well we conduct ourselves in lives. So then the dua says, Allah protect us from the eye that never shed tears. Tears, especially in sajda, are the perfume of the spirit. It's the abir, the odor of qulub wal afida. Blessed is the one who can produce some tears of iman while in sajda. And from the heart never fears. Dangerous heart. Worse than a twig, dry twig. Even in Hajar, the rock is better than that. Because from there can gush water, as Allah said in the Quran. And from the dunya that never gets satisfied, but always more and more and more. And what's the aim of it? وَفَرِحُوا بِحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَمَا حَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا فِي الْآخِرَةِ إِلَّا مَتَاعًا. Oh, so happy were they in this world of life. Yes, we enjoy it. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَ فِي الدُّنْيا وَأَحْسَنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Don't you ever forget your nasib. What Allah has given you, has assigned to give you. Obtain it, get it, enjoy it. وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. And do good, do well as Allah has done good unto you. Share with people. Like I see here last night and night before, during the iftar, some brothers, volunteers, helping. They are not the only one that should do that. Everybody should pitch in. You should not be waiting. Why you wait to be called? Allah has called all of us to be at the disposal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you see a good deed, do it. Why waiting? Once they talk about history of Islam, of our great men, Muhafil Basra, or the mayor of Basra in the time of Izz al Karama, was walking in the souk, in the market, alone, not with bodyguards. And he saw a man carrying a heavy load. So he went there and said, let me help you. The man who was carrying the load, the Sahib Hada, he thought that this man was Hammal, the one who works, carrying loads in order to earn his daily bread. So he said, okay, take it. Where do you want this? Send it there, 100 meters or so, or yards, whatever. So he got it. He was healthy, strong. So he got it. As he was walking there, because this man was not from the area, he did not know that he was the mayor. So when the people who knew the mayor saw him, said, "Andak ya level line. No one is going to touch it unless I take this where this man wants this to be taken." And the man, of course, was shivering because the mayor said, "Yes, you don't wait to be called to do things. We are already called by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansarallah." Don't fool yourselves, starting with myself here. Kunu ansarallah. Be helpers in Allah's cause. Didn't say wait till I call you. Anytime you have a chance to do good thing, don't hesitate. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, when the ayah was, one of the ayahs was revealed, الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُم بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً. The ayah goes on. Those who spend their wealth سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً. During the day, during the night, secretly and openly. He had 4 dinars or dollars with him. What he did, the first dinar, he spent it during the night. Implementation. Right there. Did not wait and say that I'm going to go and ask Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what should I do with these 3-4 things? No, 3 elements. Night, day, secrecy, openness. So first dinar at night. So the night will witness this act of yours. The day we witness it. Secrecy, the secrecy will witness it. So everything wants its own portion. In order to be witnessed by all this and openly, so people can see it. Not because you're bragging, but you may help somebody, you may remind somebody to give. Brothers and sisters, we are trying to help of you. I see you here, mashallah, trying to help people, locals and others too. I am here on behalf of Mercy USA, that is based in Michigan, of which you have heard a lot. I have come here several times. We're trying to help our brothers and sisters in different parts of the world. We are not asked to solve the problems of Ummah, but we are asked to do our best. As the hadith says, مَنْ لَا يَحْتَ بِأَمْرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. Those who don't pay heed, don't care about the affairs of Muslims, they are not of them. But I have proven that. I've been here seeing before many of you, and many of you I know, and it's nice meeting you and being with you all the time, especially in Ramadan. So we're trying to help them. We're concentrating helping our brothers and sisters, the Syrian refugees in Idlib area too, that is being bombed every day, and also the Yemenis. Somebody said, that the rich people do it. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to share that. Don't worry about that, will be taken care of. We should live with him, with concern all the times about the ummah. Think about them, help them as much as we can. Make dua for them, be with them, and do your best. Helping each other, it's a must. But it's a pleasure too. I have seen for the last 20 years many brothers and sisters in America and Canada and elsewhere. I never saw a more content, more happy person than the muhsin, the one who gives for Allah's cause. I have seen them, I have witnessed them. They are so brave. When they are asked to give, they will look you in your eyes, and they will not even wink, but they just will go on and do whatever Allah has assigned them to do. So a muhsin gets to Jannah before shaheed, before the imam, before the hafiz. And both of them will say, you had to be first. Why? Because ihsan has no ceiling. This building has a ceiling. Every ibadah has a ceiling. Only, of course, a dhikr Allah has no ceiling. Ihsan has no ceiling. A salat, we know 5 times a day. A zakah, it's known. A siyam, fasting, it's known. Al-hajj, manasik al-hajj are known. But the ihsan, has no saqf, has no ceiling. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who are always keen to be at the disposal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we want to generate some help today. I know you've been helping, and you will help. For Allah has chosen you to be min Ansarihi here in Phoenix, or wherever you are. Our presence here is not by accident. This is Allah's wisdom that brought us here. I see brothers from Iraq, I see brothers from Afghanistan, I see brothers from the Balkans, Albania, Bosnia, and all this. I see brothers from the Arab world. All of us here are elements of Ummah. Inna hadhi ummatakum ummatan wahida wa ana rabbukum fa'budun. Indeed, this Ummah of yours is one, and worship me, devote yourselves to me. So we are Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we ought to do our best in order to obtain taqwa, to obtain the protection. Before the trouble started in Syria, no Syrian at that time ever thought that they will be leaving the country. They were living, going on with their lives. Those who were living in different parts of the world would go there summertime, build their homes, would go vacations. They never thought this would happen. The Syrians, I feel so bad when I see a Syrian, anybody, but especially Shawam, Asatid al-Ummah, those who have taught the Ummah. We have some shuyukh from Albania, they were taught in Syria, in Damascus. Shaykh Albani, Gawuchi, Arnauti, two Arnautis were taught by the ulama of Sham. By Allah, they were loved by them, held by them, taught by them, honored by them. Today, they are scattered all over. A Shami that always have received others. Syria, Sham, generally speaking, is full of people that have come from different parts of the world long time ago. Even from my own country, from Bosnia, from Bulgaria, from Chechnya, from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, you name it. We're always the hub. Like today we say Turkey has become the hub of Ummah. Where the people, destitute people, those who have no home, they go and find a home there. Allah will always, the Ummah is like this, they never will not stay still. It may have ups and downs. Yes, sometimes up, sometimes down. But the Ummah is resilient. Like Muhammad Iqbal says, if a wounded bird cannot fly, the instinct of flying will never die. So the Ummah is always have the instinct of going ahead. Every chance they have, they will. But our job is to do whatever we can. And Allah has blessed us in this beautiful country of ours. We should not take for granted. We should help each other. And I ask you, please, after Salat, there will be boxes, I hope, there somewhere. And I will be standing outside the masjid. We will not burden you much, but they want to accompany $120 for the whole family. Imagine, Syrian family for the whole month. So I want every one of you to share this, to do this homework, to accompany Salat al-Jumu'ah, to accompany this last Jumu'ah of Ramadan. this beautiful day of Siyam with something of sadaqah or zakat. The Hadith Qudsi says, Hassinu amwalikum bi zakat. Protect your wealth with zakat. Wealth is what? Everything is wealth. Our sound mind, our health, our iman, our family, our friends, our company in terms of suhbah, our masjid, our neighbors, everything is our wealth. So protecting. Nobody is immune. Only bi hikmat min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We all face challenges. One of the ulama of Ummah says about people who love each other for the sake of Allah so beautifully. They resemble the hand and the eyes. When the hand is hurt, the eyes shed tears, weep. And when the eyes weep, the hands will wipe the tears. Look at this combination, this harmony. Hand and tears. You are the hand today, and those people are the eyes that are shedding tears. You can help them, you can do something, and that's for you. وَمَا تَقَدُّمُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ لِأَنفُسِكُمْ بِخَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Whatever you forward for yourself of which is good, you will find it with Allah subhanahu. Not with the imam, not with the board, not with anybody else, but with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I ask every one of you, especially those who have children, as you are teaching them to pray, to come to masjid, to iftar and all this, teach them how to be generous as we were taught by our parents in old countries and here and there to be like we are today. So I kindly ask you to do your best to accompany $120. So you want to do more, it's up to you. We wouldn't burden you much, but try to accompany your day, your Jumu'ah, your Siyam with something of sadaqah and zakat. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اشف مرضانا مرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا مرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا مرضى المسلمين في كل مكان كل حين يا رب العالمين. اللهم تب علينا واغفرنا وارحمنا يا مولانا يا كريم. اللهم اغفر لنا والوالدين المؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لنا واحفظ أولادنا واجعلهم قرة العيون في الدنيا والآخرة يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام المسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام المسلمين كل مكان يا رب العالمين. استذكرون ما أقول لكم وفوض أمر الله إن الله بصير بالعباد وأقيموا الصلاة. Remember last Jumu'ah, so do it well, brothers and sisters. Greet it well. What is salat?